Hi you guys, happy Tuesday. So just really quick, I'm here with my dog Sir and Primo. But this video is about Sir. So if you have a Frenchie or if you have a Frenchie in particular, this video is definitely for you. But if you have a small dog as well, because they said that it's common in Frenchies for sure and in small dogs in general. So last Wednesday, I took Sir to the doctor because he had like a really hunched back. Like that, I think that morning. Yeah, he didn't have it the night before. He had it that morning. So that morning, he had like a really hunched back. And the day before, I thought like maybe it was something that he ate. So I'm like, okay, maybe he has like a stomach ache and it'll pass. So I work a split shift. So I do like 4 hours in the morning, come home, and like 4 hours in the afternoon or whatever. So I came home during the split and he was still hunched and uncomfortable, and he was like unable to sit. So I went to a pet store nearby and got him like some stool medicine because I'm like, okay, he's just having a hard time, like he's constipated. If he goes to the bathroom, he'll be okay. So I gave him that, and like maybe an hour and a half, 2 hours went by and nothing. So I'm like, okay, it definitely shouldn't take this long. So I got up and I took him to the vet, and we found out that he had like, she did little tests like to, make him walk to me and check like his heart rate and like all that good stuff. So everything pans out with the exception of like him really being able to walk. So like he was able to, even though he had the hunchback, but his like legs were really wobbly. And I think it was because when I went to work and he was unable to sit because of the hunchback, he's just like on his paws. So not being able to rest. And I mean, I woke up and he was like that. So at some point throughout the night, I guess he became that way. And, I didn't know because obviously I was asleep. So I don't know how long exactly he was like that for. Definitely some hours. So I just assumed like that was, probably why. So I'm like, okay, well, once he's able to go to the bathroom, which he did actually ended up doing while we were there at the doctor, I'm like, then, he'll feel better and be able to, rest his paw. So it turns out he has something called intervertebral, IVDD, and I hope I'm pronouncing that right, intervertebral, something like that. Anyways, IVDD, you can look it up. So he has that, and it's something she was like that they can be fine and it can just that happen out of nowhere. So she said it was common in Frenchies and in small dogs, but I just wanted you guys to know, like, pay attention to like the night before. I took them out. I usually like open the door and let them go out to like pee in the bushes and stuff before we go to bed. And Sir didn't want to move. Like, he came to the front of the door and he just stopped. And if you have a Frenchie, like, because it was raining that day. So if you have a Frenchie, they hate being outside like in the rain and getting wet and all that stuff. So I just assumed it was because of that. So I picked him up and I took him over to near one of the bushes, and he kind of just like stood there, but his back was not hunched at that point. So I just thought it was because he didn't want to be in the rain. So because he was fine that entire time. And then when I took them for their last walk, he was fine and he was walking and went to the restroom and all of that stuff. So I'm just like, okay, he doesn't want to be out in the rain. So I brought them back in, and then the following morning, everything I just previously stated had happened. So he was diagnosed with that, and I'm just in the vet, like, when I tell you boohoo crying, like she gave me a box of tissues, the vet that was helping him, the doctor. And when I tell you I ran through the box, like I ran through the box. And I was so like, I think distraught in that moment, but so I didn't, obviously recording was the last thing on my mind. So we were at the vet and they gave him a shot of methadone for pain, which, I mean, he wasn't acting as if he was in pain, but I guess dogs have like a really high tolerance. So I'm sure for being on his paws for so long and his back probably, I don't know if it was just like discomfort or hurting, but so they gave him methadone for that. And then they gave me pills that he's still taking And I give it to him twice a day. So they gave him one for pain, one for sedation to keep him from wanting to like move so much, which in the beginning, the first like probably 3 days, he wasn't doing, but now he is trying to be more active. And I'm letting him move his legs and walk a little bit. More so when we go out, like to, use the restroom, I let him walk and take a few steps and, go to the restroom or whatever. But I want him to use his legs and build the strength up and get better. Excuse me, but I want him to build up 100%. So I don't want him doing too much walking, but I also want to let him use it if that's what he naturally feels like he wants or needs to do, so that he doesn't get used to just being lazy and not using them, if that makes sense. So yeah, pain, sedation, and then something for pain and inflammation. So he has those 3 medications to take. 2 is a pill. I give him twice a day, and then 1 for the pain and the pain and inflammation is a liquid that I give him through a syringe once a day with food. So he wasn't eating, he wasn't going to the bathroom, no, he wasn't even peeing, none of that. So I'm super nervous. I'm in there boohoo crying. I cried literally the remaining of the day and a little bit of the following morning, because I'm just okay, what does this mean? I'm not going to get to the point where I have to put him down or, anything of that nature. So she said that it was a 50-50 chance that he would either bounce back and we can take the natural way first, or a surgery, which costs, she said, from $10,000 to $15,000. And I don't have the $10,000 to $15,000. So I definitely was okay, well, let's try the natural way first. So with the medications, she didn't say this, but I've also been massaging his back, which right now he actually does not have that hump in his back. If you kind of feel his spine, it's a slight hump, but you can't, notice it. So it has been going down. So I've been taking it upon myself to do that, just massage his back a few times throughout the day, just whenever I think about it. And I don't know if it's helping, but I like to think that it is, or at least, make him feel a little better, relax him. And she said for him to be in a cage. So I don't keep my dogs in cages. So I did have to buy a small confined cage where he doesn't have room to really move too much. So he's in the cage. I put a pillow in there, so when he, wants to lean, he can kind of rest on that. And I have the little water bowl and a pad, and a cover for him to lay on to be comfortable. But that's pretty much it. So he has to stay in there for 4 to 6 weeks because he needs very minimum movement just to rest in order to completely bounce back. And I would like to say that that's also helping, because like I said, now he's back to, it's Tuesday, it's almost been a week. So maybe about a day or so ago, he finally was able to really use his legs. And like I said, I just want him to get back to 100%. His back paws, which is the 2 that he wasn't able to use at first, he can stand on them, but yesterday when I was looking at him, they kind of have his body, the back of his body leaning kind of to the right just a little bit. So I know he's not 100%, but I'm supposed to bring him back 5 to 7 days, take him to his primary doctor, because I took him to a 24-hour vet. So I'm supposed to take him to his primary doctor 5 to 7 days later, just to see an update, if he, has gotten better, and if they feel like he's going to need the surgery or not. So his appetite is back. I mean, he's trying to walk. He has his energy. And now that he's feeling better, he's to the point where he doesn't realize, okay, you're still kind of hurt. You're not 100%. And so I really have to monitor him more than ever now. Before, I just had him in a cage. I put my Ring camera in the room with him so I can watch him while I was at work. Now I don't think I need to so much watch him on the Ring camera, but he does have to be in the cage while I'm at work. And when I'm home, I'll let him be out, but not so much. I'll let him come walk to get his food and drink some water. But other than that, he's on the couch laying on me now, or if I want to put him, the night before, I just feel so bad him having to be in a cage, even though I know it's for his betterment and for him to get better. But I just feel bad him constantly being in a cage. I mean, I had to buy one. Like I said, I don't typically keep my dogs in cages. So I felt bad him having to be in there for so long, and we're only going on week 2, and he has to be in there for 4 to 6. So I let him sleep in bed with me, and of course he's just laying there upon me sleeping, so there's no movement. So, you know, I do let him kind of do that so that he doesn't feel super confined, but you know, it's needed. So yeah, I just wanted to make this video. If you have a Frenchie, I know that Frenchies have a lot of health problems, but I just thought, like, with their breathing, or maybe if they get overweight easily. And I know that, you know, he's been 19 pounds for like the longest, so I think pretty well with maintaining his weight and stuff. And you know, he goes to the doctor, both of my babies, about like anything. So I knew that they were healthy, they're up to date on their shots, like they get exercise, but for him, obviously not too much, but you know, all that good stuff. So, and I give them their vitamins. I give them Alaskan salmon oil or coconut oil in their food sometimes when they're eating. So I'm like, okay, you know, I'm making sure he stays healthy. But this is something that for no particular reason or cause can happen. So if you are unaware of it like I was, it's just a few things to look out for, you know. So if your Frenchie is, or your small dog has been stubborn and they don't want to walk or move, you know, it's something that you may want to keep an eye on. And as soon as they get that hunchback, I recommend taking them to their vet or a 24-hour vet if yours is closed, because that's one of the things too, when they have, like, because of the hunchback, I thought it was a stomach ache, and she was saying, the vet said, and also said on Google when I looked it up, but the vet was saying that back pain and stomach pain on dogs looks very similar. So the exact symptoms they have when they have a stomach ache is the exact symptoms that they have when they have back pain as well. So if your dog is giving symptoms of stomach pain, if you can, I would say take them as soon as possible, because if I didn't take him that morning that I noticed it, and I just assume, oh, he'll get better in a few days or something like that, then it would have been very ugly for him, and he may not have been able to start recovering and bouncing back so fast. But because I was on it, and I have been doing what I needed to do, and treating him, and even, like I said, taking the extra steps and just like massaging him and his back, and even when I don't do it so much now. Like, I'll just like carry him for the most part and then put him down, let him go to the bathroom, walk around a little bit. But in the very beginning, the first few days, especially when he still had the hunchback, I would put him down and put my hand like under him so that he had something he wasn't doing it on his own. He was on the front paws, but that back, he was able to kind of relax and just be in my hands. So, you know, if he needed to pee, you know, the way they normally like squat or maybe lift their their leg up or something, he would just stand there with the hunchback and just pee like that, and it'll just, you know, run to the ground or whatever. But I was always giving him support and not forcing him to try to move or walk. And even now I carry him. So he's on the couch right now. When he gets put back in that cage so I can go back to work, I'm going to carry him and put him in the cage, make sure he has his water and he's comfortable in there. I even put a toy or two in there with him, just like something like a chew toy. His favorite toy is a ball. I won't put that in there because the ball kind of just like rolls around and I don't need him, you know, moving. But I'll put like one of his like toy bones or something there that he just always kind of just sits there and chews on, and it's not going to cause a lot of movement. So yeah, those are just some I mean, I hope I gave some tips or something for you guys to look out for. But yeah, that is Sir's story, and you hear him fighting his sleep right now. Frenchies, they breathe hard in general, but he's fighting his sleep right now. I gave him one pain medication and one pill for the sedation, so he'll be out pretty soon. But yeah, that's all that I can think of for the story, and I hope that this helps somebody. And just, if you weren't aware and you thought that Frenchies you know, just had like breathing issues and that was it, that is absolutely not. So this is just something for you guys to look out for. Bye.